Anyway, Manami, Greg and I are trying to use authorship software to show that there's a person called S.Abrams who published Oahspe and was an editor. And we were wondering whether that could just be John Newbrough. So we wanted to use authorship software to show that possibly it could be him. So a pseudonym, maybe a pseudonym of John Newbrough. People have always wondered who S.Abrams is, and I'm suspecting it's him since we found a letter from Mr. Newbrough, well, through Mr. Newbrough, his only letter that we know of, Abrams. So there's a good chance it's him. I know it doesn't matter to you, but that's what we were talking about. Ah, audio only as I have no video. Oh, I see. That's okay. You can hear us though, Mike? That's important. Can you hear us? That's good. So, like, just type whatever you want. I don't guess I don't have to type it if you can hear. Uh, we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye in the chat box to see what you're saying. Okay. Um, it surely is nice. The voice is good. Picture is good, but you're here in our spirit is somewhere in the internet zone and in the S zone. Oh, thank you, stars. So Manami's in silent mode like on Mondays, so we're used to this. We can tolerate silence, and as long as you've got your love and light in your heart, that's cool. So I'm not sure if anyone else is coming. Barb is still with her family in Ohio. I'm not sure where Candy is today. She didn't tell me if she's coming or not. So I guess we're just going to start then. Okay. Connection time. Make the sign of the creator. And I feel like saying the prayer right away. Everyone, oh Creator, we're grateful to be here. As always, we could always be better people than we are, but that's why we're here, in part because we want to be a better person, more in tune with you, more in tune with the angelic heavens. But we also are here to send forth blessings, light, inspiration to others. And we're grateful for having this chance to work together. Amen.
Amen.
Anybody else have a prayer they'd like to offer? You do not have to, but you can.
I'm just I don't have necessarily a prayer written down or anything, but just watching the news, these this couple that was murdered outside of the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C.
I saw that headline.
I mean, I know that there's really not, they're on the way, you know, they're on the plane. So there's not much, we can say about them, but these kinds of things have tremendous ripple effects, sometimes generationally. Uh, you remove a child that should have grown up in that family, and there's a lot of hurt there. And sometimes that hurt gets passed down into other generations. It almost changes the timeline. So maybe we could just, instead of a prayer, just kind of have a moment of silence and send our thoughts to the families involved.
Okay, how about a minute of silent prayer for the families involved? I think I like that.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Amen. Thank you for that. That is a great way to approach it, I think. Thank you. Um, oh, Candy's here. Hello, Candy. Candy's son.
Hello.
Oh, you're
Hello.
looking good. You're outside too.
Yeah, I'm walking around.
Are we in the chicken coop?
Walking around.
Oh, yeah, the chickens are here.
Oh, good guess.
Yeah. Can you see them?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neat,
Oh,
neat.
that reminds me. They're here at the door because this is the time I feed them.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I will.
The natural energy seeping in is streaming in from Missouri to our meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea. I think I I I would really like it if we could all like be outside in our backyard or something together. And so I like the feeling from that. Okay. Anyway, Ken, we just had a moment of silence for the recent victims in Washington so that there'd be more harmony and peace and not vengeance and guilt and hatred, uh, which inspires me to say a prayer for the world. And please feel free to add your own. Um, Mike's here, but he can't get his video or audio working. But he's going to be typing.
indeed.
Okay, so anyway, world prayer. Uh, all, all our world is learning. Thank you. All the world is learning that love, not hatred, forgiveness, not revenge, is the way of true peace. Okay, here's our blessing for the world. Let's try this together. 3, 2, 1.
All our
All
world
the
is
world is
learning
Our
learning
that
is
that
love,
learning
love,
that
not
love, not
hatred,
hatred,
not hatred,
forgiveness,
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 not
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 revenge,
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 is the
is the
is
way
the
way
of
of
way
true
true
of true
peace.
peace.
peace. All our
All our
world
world is
is
learning
Is
learning
learning
that
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 love,
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 not
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 hatred,
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 forgiveness,
forgiveness,
not
forgiveness,
not
not
revenge,
revenge,
revenge, is
is
the
the
is the
way
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 of
of
of true
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 peace.
peace.
peace. All
All
the
our
All our
world
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 is
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 learning
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 that
that
love,
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 not
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 hatred,
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 forgiveness,
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 not
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 revenge, is
revenge,
revenge,
the way
is
of
the way
is the
true
way of
peace.
true
of true
peace.
peace.
It'll be about 7 o'clock before I'm ready. Okay?
Okay, isn't it 7 o'clock?
Now for her, it's 6:15.
Oh, that's right. Too many places in the world. Okay, silently prayer for this affirmation. Thank you, everyone. Um, I guess. Oh, Michael's back, or another Michael's here. Michael number 2 is here. Michael,
Yeah, I'm back.
okay.
Yeah, I just stopped to use my iPhone instead. I don't know what I was thinking about.
Okay, I like having 6 participants, but I'm going to knock off your other one. Michael,
I'm gonna close this one.
Oh, okay. I like the echo effect in a way. It's very psychedelic.
Let's see.
I can do it from my side, maybe.
No, wait. It's gotta be.
I probably do the wrong one. Okay, you did it. Better to do it yourself.
There it is. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so much better to
Any
see
more
you.
echoes? Is it gone?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
but it was cool.
Like a bad sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Um, well, anyway, welcome. It's been a while since we've seen you, so we're really happy to see you.
Thank you. I've just been out of town a lot lately.
That's cool. You're doing good things. Uh, does anyone have a reading? Candy's been doing a very good job, but I think it's good to rotate a little bit. So if you can do it, it doesn't have to be a Oahspe, but if you ever want to bring a reading, just give a shout and we can use it. I've got one here, but if it,
That's good. I don't have one tonight.
okay. I try to do this randomly, and here's my random one. Let's see. Manami, you were here first. Go ahead, Manami. Would you be willing to read that?
With what?
The
Yes.
Yes.
Did you post something?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yes. It is the will and the wish of thy God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest light, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, or holy book, or upon consulting the spirits.
Very good. I thought
There's an echo of that same thing in Book of Inspiration, where it talks about I will have no creeds,
oh yeah, you're right, I think.
all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better not to have a lead. The creator is the true leader. The creator is the true priest, I guess I would say, for
Right.
everyone. The true book. And I that's why I only want to call myself a moderator here. And everyone should we try to share things as much as we can. I think this is something that makes Oahspe special, this viewpoint. It and it doesn't mean we think churches are all necessarily uh, terrible places or anything. It just means the higher path, I think. Any other ideas on this, or should we just go on?
Well, you could talk a long time about this, but
Hmm.
uh, I don't want to be the only one talking. So.
Oh, right.
Well, I've thought about that a lot, but so my friend Christopher Jacob, he's pretty he's very advanced and with good ETs. So
ETs?
um,
Extraterrestrials?
extraterrestrial. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but he said it was kind of dangerous to cross the threshold into a church because the dark side had,
Hmm.
put some kind of a curse on people who would do that. And so, I don't know.
That might be putting it too strongly, but certainly there's a spiritual influence that is at work, and I, I don't want to make grand generalizations because I believe people can be good no matter what, and I'm just saying, but I do think in general, you're better off following this advice. But at the same time,
Well, I think, Oahspe came out of the spiritualist movement, with the Fox sisters communicating from 1848, and um, uh, so uh, so there was a lot of communications
mm,
because the veil dropped in 1848, and positive communications were allowed, as I understood it.
mhm.
And I visited spiritualist churches in England,
Oh yeah,
Canada, and
that's cool.
Seattle, and they when I was at the Canadian one in I think in Toronto, when I went up to see the Oahspe and Philip Bowman, um, the, the the leader of the spiritualist church there was asking, um, us to ask questions, and so I prayed that I could ask a question that would take the speaker up to the highest level possible.
Mhm.
And so I asked a question uh, that I was inspired to from Oahspe, um, and the speaker did indeed say it. He said, "Oh, I'm going up higher than I've ever
Oh,
done."
wow.
And he, gave me an answer because usually that's in the spiritualist churches in the 1980s and 90s, they were just talking to Aunt Susie, and who would maybe say,
Oh,
"Well, why
okay.
don't you take more vitamin C or something like that?" But
Mm.
I asked a question, and he went a lot higher than that, and that was kind of cool.
Well, that's a really nice experience to share. I went to one spiritualist church in my hometown once, and I didn't have a bad feeling about it. I don't know if spiritualism church is kind of like an oxymoron. Like, is it really if it's spiritualism, is it really a church? I don't. So I kind of am not sure unless there's some heavy uh, overruling priest or something there. But I kind of feel like it's just. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I think the
Well,
gatherings for spiritualism are not really a part of the church
well,
uh,
there's
message
three
here.
kinds of spiritualist churches. There's the Christian spiritualist, and then there's the
Yeah.
the New Age spiritualist, and then they're us, and so. And now Christopher won't do like the psychic on television years ago. She was always helping solve crimes. Christopher doesn't want to deal with that kind of thing, but he does talk to uh, others, and he's growing in his abilities, and so. Um, so besides the ETs and the Sasquatch, recently, 3 months ago, he was contacted by Michael Jackson,
Oh,
and and Michael is explaining, how they did the mind control and the terrible things they did in Hollywood, and what he tried to
uh,
stop, and things like that. So it's pretty interesting on his YouTube.
It
But
is, Michael started talking toward the end, and usually when these mind control people that had been correct through these mind control techniques, eventually your mind starts to recongeal back together, and you start having memories. And I think that's what Michael was doing. He was
uh,
remembering. And when you remember, they make you a legend.
Mm.
That's why they can still make money from you, and you're not around anymore to talk. You're just a legend after that.
yeah, and I'd like to point out that's a very good point, both of you, Candy and Greg. I'd like to also point out there's a correspondence as above, below, as below, as below, above. There is an actual spiritual counterpart for every church where they're trying to pull you there after you die and make you a
Right.
member of their little group. So that's what all the rituals are about. They're connecting your mind to where they are, and that ensures that when you pass over, your spirit will be attracted or linked.
Magnetically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll go there because that's your spiritual direction. So
or your harmonic or vibrational. Yeah.
yeah, and
And,
some of
and
those, go ahead.
you'll stay so low, just hanging out above the little church that you
Mhm.
went to, and
Mhm.
that's so sad. And of course, that was at the end of that important book by Heinlein.
Robert Heinlein,
Yeah, that he wrote in
Which, which
1958.
one? Which one was that?
the science
Well,
fiction
the
one.
I gork you. Yeah, it's
Stranger
science
in a Strange
fiction.
Land.
Yeah, Stranger in
Oh,
Strange
Stranger in
Land.
a
That's
Strange
right.
Land. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Yeah. That was
I read that, but I
It's,
can't remember what happened.
it kind of started, the hip and
Oh, this is kind of a cool story, I think.
yeah, and at the very end, then he's in the hereafter, and he's trying to
I so
coordinate
remember
with
that.
the Catholics and the
Oh,
you know,
wow.
e- the
I
various
forgot about that.
Presbyterian stuff, and you know,
It's coming back to me, Mike.
so
I should
okay.
reread it.
so in the
I
old
forgot
time
it myself.
spiritualist church, so
Okay.
yeah, it's
you
amazing
know
I can remember. But
one other
ectoplasm. The people were born with ectoplasm at their solar plexus, and that gave them the ability to communicate. But in 1943 was the last person that on Earth supposedly that was born with that ectoplasm. Uh,
Fast.
which probably the Fox sisters had, and so and Eisenhower's cousin that read Oahspe, she explains a lot of that, and so that they can't communicate. I mean, the whole idea of going into the closet and having the trumpet and all of those
You're right.
things couldn't really happen after those that were born in the 30s and 40s were no more.
Well, I hate to ever say ever, but I'm sure it's more difficult anyway. But I think
Well, the
it's coming
physical
back. It'll come
medium.
back at some point, I'm sure. The heavens will be more open. I'm sorry, Greg.
Oh, I was just saying what I think what she's talking about is the physical mediums that can exude this ectoplasmic substance that, you know, I've read quite a few books on fakes and fakers, and there are most of them were, but there's a few that they just can't explain. So there's a few genuine ones, but most of them were fakes. But the genuine ones, they're just head scratchers. One other thing that back to what you said about darkness dropping down on you entering churches, and I worked for a while in Minnesota, and Minnesota has well, at least the Twin Cities has the largest population of Somalians outside of Somalia. And so a lot of them worked where I was working and in a variety of positions, but some of them were cleaners and they refused to clean the bathrooms
Oh,
because they said the evil jinns, where we get the word genie, hide in the bathrooms, in the dark, stinky places. And if you read in Oahspe, it kind of validates that a little bit because it'll talk about drudges and stinkiness. And I mean, there's odors and all kinds of things like that. And I'm not talking about the normal odors of the bathroom. I'm just talking about the spiritual odors and the nastiness that drudges have. So, and also one other thing, this idea of things dropping down on you is actually pretty old because if you look at ancient Gothic architecture, they don't have square doorways, they have arch doorways. And the idea was that evil spirits can't rest on top of the flat part of a door if it's an arch. So they
hmm.
can't hide up on there and drop down on you. So I just happen to remember that when Candy was talking about
Uh,
when you
That's
walk in the
interesting.
church and things drop on you.
I never knew that.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Chris's YouTube channel is called Christopher S. Jacobs, and it was 3 months ago that he first posted something from Michael Jackson, but he's also posted something from Houdini, which I have not yet
Oh,
heard, but apparently it was pretty interesting how they talked about how they blame somebody for, hitting him in the gut, and that had nothing. They murdered him, and blamed it on somebody else.
I see.
Sure, that doesn't surprise me.
That sounds true. Anyway, I guess we only have about 10 minutes left, so does anybody have a group intention? Any group you'd like to pray for?
Hmm.
Okay, I'll do one if no one has any inspiration right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Spirituals become angelic. Uh, uh, I don't know if this is the right prayer. uh, it's about spiritualism. I just want it to become more angelic and less about vitamin C and uh, dark stuff, but more about light and uh, more universal. I don't hope these words work. Anyway, that's the intention here.
Oh, I
Three.
like that. That's good.
Okay, thank you. 3, 2, 1. May
May spiritualism
Spiritualism
become
become
ever
ever
more
more angelic,
angelic
angelic,
and
comprehensive for
comprehensive
all.
for all.
for all. May
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 spiritualism
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 become
become
ever more
even more
angelic and
angelic and
comprehensive for
comprehensive
all.
for all.
May
May spiritualism
spiritualism
become ever more angelic and comprehensive
angelic
for all.
and comprehensive.
for all. Are there any more group intentions or individual intentions?
Christopher says there's a lot more channelers, a lot more people coming along, and they're at various levels, but there's been a spike in the last year of those who have
Oh,
his kind of skills.
I see. Well, anyway, that's a good development, I think. But what about intentions? Candy, do you have any intentions? Or
Well,
if no one, you
my 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 plumbing failed this afternoon. I don't know, and so I let's see, M- m- my my friend. Um, I have a friend who's a plumber, and I'm hoping he can
okay.
help me. I
All
guess
right.
I don't know.
Shall I type something?
um, let's see, and it's funny. Okay, I'll do it. He's at his plumbing job right now, and but uh, uh, may Chris may help with plumbing, I guess,
Okay, water's important.
because both my daughter's trailer and my house have no water.
Okay.
I,
3,
I post
2, 1. Chris
Chris
may
may
help
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 with
with
Plumbing.
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 Chris
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 may
May
help
may
help
help
with
help
with
with
plumbing.
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 Chris
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 may
may
help
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 with
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 plumbing.
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 Amen. Any individual prayers out there? Um, well, I have one. I saw another of the YouTube special book kids, and this one's about a guy named Edgar. He was born without any arms or legs, and it sounds like a difficult situation, but he's so affable and intelligent, and I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. It can't be easy because he always needs help with everything. But anyway, that's what I'm keeping in mind. I'll put a link in the summary. Anyway, he certainly has a lot to teach everyone. If you get a chance to watch it, I think it's worth your time. His name's Edgar. He's Hispanic. Edgar is being empowered with ever greater service. He's working. He's a volunteer too. It's a very interesting video. Just impressive. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Edgar
Edgar is being empowered with ever greater service. Edgar
Edgar
is
is being
being
empowered
empowered
with
with
ever
ever
greater
greater
service.
service.
Edgar
Edgar
is
is
being
being
empowered
empowered
with
with
ever
ever
greater
greater
service.
service.
is. Amen. Does anyone else?
Sometimes it's interesting that these people that have so little can show us that have so much
It's always the
what
case.
we could do.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, Mike, you're seeing all the homeless people, so I'm sure that gets hammered home.
Yeah.
I know when I was in Africa, people were making like $250 a year, and
Wow.
they were happier than we are, and they had communities. And I'm not saying everything was great. I mean, there were lots of problems too, but I'm not sure. But you could no electricity, no running water, but people can just what you said, Greg, and it makes you go makes you feel like you want to kick yourself in the behind to say, can you be more appreciative? And anyway, I'd like to be more appreciative, and probably a lot of other good things I need to do.
Right.
I think we can, people think they can buy happiness, but you really can't buy joy. I think joy comes from the spirit. And people that have nothing sometimes have just tremendous amounts of joy. I think joy is worth more than happiness.
I like that distinction. Okay, final affirmation. It's for us, I guess, and everyone. Joyfulness. 1, 2, 3.
Joyfulness
unto all
forever.
forever.
Joyfulness
Unto all forever. Joyfulness unto all forever.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you for everything.
Bob, before
Okay.
are we still having the prayer sessions on Saturday and Sunday?
This Saturday we're going to have it because my wife's working on Sunday, so I have to have it on Saturday.
Okay, so Saturday evening.
So this Saturday's the next one.
Okay.
Prayer blessing Zoom sessions are held weekly. Please join with us to create light and love blessings for our world. You may have noticed our world could use a lot of good prayers and blessings. Sincerity and good will mean everything in this work. To join a session, email Bob at robertbayer3741@yahoo.com. We are all angels of the Creator in the making. For we are a blessing, as love is our power. Prayer blessing Zoom sessions